So I'm not going to introduce anything. Look, I put Superman in it for you, Willel. I know you're a huge fan.
Hey, that's a classic Superman.
Why'd you say that name? Yeah, it is. Yeah, look, it's cool. It's a statue that came with a book. We used to sell it at our store, and I thought it was cool, so I kept it. I like it. Nice iconography. So what were we talking about on the show? Oh, we were talking about Saved by the Bell. This is the first time we've talked about it on this show?
Do you know there's the pop-up restaurant downtown? In
Chicago?
Yeah, it used to be Geek Bar.
Oh, shut up. That's the place?
Uh-huh.
And it's a pop-up of Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, actually Mario Lopez a few weeks ago popped in on it.
Have you been?
I haven't. No, my wife's cousins who actually came out to our live show at Geek Bar.
Yes.
They actually went and they got all Saved by the Bell dressed up, and they're a couple years younger than me, so it was perfect in their wheelhouse. I watched the earlier years and then kind of faded in and out with it.
Did you watch the college years?
I watched it on rerun with
A New Class.
I watched it in rerun, and then Zach and Kelly get married in Hawaii, and of course.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Is that when they work as they work as not cruise directors, but entertainment directors?
No, that's season 3 of the show.
And didn't they do a spinoff with Belden and Screech, or was that just after the other ones left? They went back and they did it
well, right. They did it. They did the New Class, and that was Screech became a teacher on that show, I think, and and joined.
So you had 89 to 92 was Saved by the Bell. So it was only 3 years. Wow, what cultural impact in 3 years?
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
The New Class, 93 to 2000. Yeah, but think about it. The first year wasn't them at Bayside and all that. Wasn't it somewhere else, or was that just the pilot?
Okay, no, the first year was actually in Indiana, and it wasn't. It was supposed to be called. I think it was Good Morning, Mrs. Bliss.
Oh, so Saved by the Bell started.
Right, it changed. And you know who the lead in that was?
No,
I can't remember her name.
Perfect. You don't know who it is either.
No. But you'll know the name. She was the original. Oh my God! Now I'm drawing a blank on the movie where she played the twins. We're trying to get the Disney movie.
Oh, I totally know who it is. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
you know why I know it? You know why I know it? Because of your show, because of League of Geeks. I heard you talk about this the one time.
I did talk about it once, and now I'm drawing a blank on the name.
Wait, I'm going to get it because it was not Freaky Friday. The one where it's the twins and they go to camp and they try to fool the parents. Haley Mills.
Parent Trap. The original
Haley Mills.
Haley Mills. Yeah, so because she was the original girl in the Parent Trap from the Disney show, the Disney movie. Yes. She was the teacher, and the show was supposed to be based on the teacher and her students.
Okay. And
after the first pilot season, I think they did 12 or 14 episodes, and it wasn't all the same cast. They had Zach and Screech
and Lisa Tuttle.
Lisa Tuttle. Tuttle is actually the driver's ed teacher, Mr. Tuttle. And
is it really?
Choir teacher, yes. Yeah, we used to talk about Saved by the Bell at work all the time. We used to cast everybody in the office as a character from Saved by the Bell.
We do that kind of stuff all the time. Okay, all right. We're casting Saved by the Bell right now. So which one am I? You're Mario Lopez.
You are clearly Mr. Belding. I am not Mario.
You're Mr. No, Chris is Mr. Belding.
No way.
Yeah, you're Mr. Belding. Which one do you think you are? You're Lisa Tuttle.
I want to be the shop teacher.
Who's that?
I don't know. That was the episode that we were talking about on the podcast that I saw while I was having breakfast, where they have coveralls and they're working on the car and different grease stains on the coveralls. It was great.
Is that the one where they take Mr. Belding's convertible?
Yeah, and then they wreck it, and then
I remember that episode.
I don't know anything about it.
You know what? That's such a Brady Bunch episode. Oh. It's unbelievable.
The whole show was like that. I mean, it was all very. They try to go hardcore and deep with one episode where Jesse got hooked on caffeine pills.
Yes, that's one of the only ones I've seen.
And I still remember her singing "I'm so." She's like, "I'm so excited," and then she starts crying. I can't control myself.
Oh, it's the worst. I thought you were going to say the one when Gordon Jump is working at the bike shop and Zach goes in there. Oh no, that was Different Strokes.
Different Strokes, yes, you
the very special Different Strokes.
The guy was Mr. Carlson, right?
Yeah, Mr. Carlson, and he had the bike shop. Yeah, and then Danny Cooksey went over there to get his bike fixed.
Hey,
yeah, I'm not going to make a single rim joke about that at all. They said that I'm reading a thing here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
On Saved by the Bell, 45 things you probably didn't know.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we do that except for a little.
Great.
The set still exists. You can see the set on That's So Raven, which is that one from the Cosby Show, and iCarly, which is that one from I don't know who's on iCarly.
The diner.
What?
The diner set? Is that what you're talking about? It
says the set. The set still exists and can be seen on That's So Raven and iCarly.
I thought they used the Welcome Back Cotter set.
Did they?
No. I'm teasing. Totally teasing.
I fall for it.
Ron Palillo is still sitting there. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh, way to bring up the dead guy. You ever see the I know you have a little. When Ron Palillo was in Friday the 13th, what is it, 3?
No, he was in.
Yeah, 3 is 3D. He's either 4.
3 is 3D. 4 is they kill Jason off the first time.
I think it's that one.
5 is the fake one. 6. I think he's in 6. No, because Dudley's in 6.
No.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It is 4.
Who's Dudley?
Dudley Moore?
No, from Different Strokes. He was in one of the Jason movies.
Who's Dudley on Different Strokes?
Dudley, the white kid?
No, Dudley, Arnold's best friend, who got molested by the bike shop owner.
Shut up! Way to bring it back.
Huh?
Way to full
bring
circle
it all the way around there, man.
I know.
Talk about a segue. That's awesome.
It's been kind of crazy, but you know what? No, I think Ron Palillo, he was in part 6.
Yep, Ron Palillo played Alan Hawes,
and he dies right in the beginning because they're trying to dig up Jason's body.
Yes.
And then Jason with the lightning.
I'm dead.
Was Gabe Kaplan there just because?
He was
doing his Groucho Marx impression. You guys ever see that? This is really going back on HBO when that had first started. They would do like the HBO comedy specials, but this is even before that. And they had these they filmed these comedy things from New York, but they were like one-man shows. And there was one, it was Gabe Kaplan does Groucho Marx. I remember watching this thing. And they also did one with Rich Little.
Wow.
Yeah. Rich Little, the only man better at voices than me.
Only man.
All right, here's some more Saved by the Bell trivia for you, Lil.
Okay.
What did AC stand for?
Was it Arthur? I can't remember.
No, Albert.
Albert. Yeah.
All right. Jesse Spano's middle name? I don't know who Jesse Spano is.
Elizabeth Berkley, who was in Showgirls.
Okay, so what's her middle name?
I don't know.
And judging from it, I'm going to say it's probably a plot element. I got something on my nose here.
I don't remember.
Myrtle.
Yeah,
you're not a fan. You said you're a fan.
Who would have wrote this? Who would have wrote these names?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm watching Jay Cutler fumble the ball here in midfield.
Okay.
What's the score?
9-7, Eagles.
Eagles?
Yep, and big play down the field. Oof, broken up.
Is that legal to do? I don't know.
Oh, this is a little weird. When the characters graduated from high school, so that's the end of the, third season?
Yeah.
Their real-life ages, Mark Paul Gosselaar was 19. Mario Lopez was 20. Elizabeth Berkley was 21. Okay. That's how she was able to do Showgirls at that point. Tiffany Amber Thiessen was 19. Lark Voorhees was 19. And Dustin Diamond, a mere 16. So he is the advanced one that graduated early. Stupid.
That's great. That was bad. Well, I mean, considering that Elizabeth Berkley looked like an adult the whole show. It was kind of messed up. She always looked old. She did not look like she was in high school.
Who did? Elizabeth Berkley?
Elizabeth Berkley. She would look 21 or older the whole time.
Right.
Because Slater and, Screech was a little kid when that show started. And then,
he would have been 13.
Were young.
He would have been 12 because he was on that other one with Parent Trap.
With Parent Trap. Don't you think, Alil?
How about this? Mr. Belding has a degree in Kung Fu. Doesn't say what the degree is. He could be a white belt. Yeah, who knows?
I did not know that.
He had to fight off all the women, after that big role. So,
yeah, you know what? Even reading through this list, it's got 45 different things. I'm at 21. I'm so bored by it. I couldn't stand this show. Not my kind of thing. But I guess, Alil, you were like 12, so that would work, right?
No, but
because I liked Brady Bunch when I was a kid. It's the kind of stuff you like.
Yeah, I was 8.
Oh, 8.
Yeah.
Interesting.
When the show started, yeah.
So this would be in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it was. I'm not denying it.
Actually, there was one thing that I thought was interesting about the show. I didn't watch it, but the fact that they brought back live TV to children's programming, I thought that was kind of an interesting thing that at that time that had gone by the wayside. And this was pre-Pee-wee bringing that back too.
Right. And this was a Saturday morning show. I mean, this was right after the cartoons on NBC at about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. You get this show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a big deal. I mean, you'd watch your Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and Smurfs and whatever, and then I'd watch...
Sadly, I would watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Then I would watch...
I was like
25, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was all up in that. I'd get up, I'd watch that, and I'd watch X-Men. That X-Men series.
X-Men was in the 90s, though.
That was great. Yeah, but I was even older then. And the Tick? Oh, love the Tick.
I don't like.
Remember when we were kids, Bob?
Really?
The cartoons would start like at 7 and go till noon.
Right.
Although 3 hours of it was Laugh Olympics, who cared? It didn't matter. They still had all sorts of stuff going. And
yeah, I remember watching Laugh Olympics, but it wasn't. That wasn't like a main draw for me, even though I watched it. If I think back to the Saturday morning, man, I can't even remember. It was mainly Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Yeah. It was or Super Friends was good when they just did the Super Friends. That was like the first show I remember it being that.
That was so good. I mean, it's not good. I loved it though.
What are you doing, rebuilding? Holy God.
I don't know what. I'm going to try something
tonight on This Old House. Make some shelving.
Well, Bob, we're going to take this.
I thought you said blob. That was Sunday morning on the Giggle Snort Hotel.
Oh, God.
Now, there's no way you know that one, right, Alil? You were way too young.
Oh, God.
It was on Sunday morning, they had programming for kids. Those of us that were heathens that didn't go to church. So they had...
Oh, that was on way early, dude. That was before church.
Was it? They had Giggle Snort Hotel, which we all loved. Didn't they have that Newzoo Review on Sunday mornings? And then they had Magic Door.
Yeah, Magic Door.
Yeah, that was for the Jewish kids.
Yes.
It was a Jewish show. And that was the one that I couldn't figure out. Like, you could send in your artwork, and they had a wall with all the artwork. And I'm like, how come mine never gets featured?
I don't know.
I think we know.
It was that bad, or?
It was that terrible. Yes. But
Giggle Snort was great. The Lemon Drop Kid. Was it the Lemon Drop Kid?
Yeah. Wow,
or Lemon Puss. Lemon Puss Kid, wasn't it?
No, Lemon Drop. Wasn't it?
And he would give you the sour face. He'd be, right?
Hold on. Sour Puss. And then it had the two gorillas that would come in and just like cause a bunch of crap. I loved all that.
And what was the other show he had? Because he had another show, and the guy's name was BJ, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
You're a big fan of his, aren't you?
Dude, he had a creepy mustache. He was like a 70s dude. He had the creepy mustache.
Are we talking about Stan Lee again?
Yes. Who's looking at you, kid? Yeah, and
Oh, you can find it on YouTube. Giggle Snort Hotel.
Really?
Yep. Bill Jackson is the guy's name. Uh-oh. I think we lost a Lil again.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Is my camera working or no?
It was Chicago. No. Chicago-based children's programming.
How about now?
How about BJ and the Dirty Dragon was the other show. That was awesome too.
He also did one called Clown Alley. Okay, that was a horror show, though. I have a feeling.
Was that Martha's favorite show as a kid?
Yes. It started Lady Gaga and Kathy Bates.
Nice.
That was where Twisty came from. Dirty clown outfit. Big gross smile. Let's see. Okay, so Bill Jackson, I gotta tell you a story. So
Bill Jackson, the coach?
No,
Bulls?
This is really ironic. Alanis Morissette would think so. The story I just told about the guy with the weird guy with the Alyssa Milano picture.
Yeah. He's messaging us right now.
No, he lived like 2 blocks away from BJ, whatever his name is, from Bill Jackson.
Bill Jackson.
And he would tell this story about how he would see him out there. This is way after the show's done. He'd be out there like mowing his lawn. He'd be riding this bike. He's like, oh my God, there's BJ. And he said he was always like afraid to say something. And he said the guy looked kind of grumpy, like he's pushing his lawnmower, like in his black socks, like, And he said the one time he went by and the garage door was open, and inside was like the entire set from Giggle Snort Hotel. And right in front was the pedestal with Blob on it. Well, it was like all chopped up and was like, he said there was like green mold on one side of it. It was like, oh, my childhood's moldy and chopped up. Awful. I love the Blob, though. What he would do is he had a block of clay, and he would mold stuff, and the whole time Blob is going like, rah, rah, rah.
Who was the dude that lived in the basement?
You sure that wasn't in your real life?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is very true.
His name was Gacy, wasn't it? You just cut out completely.
Chris, your mic went dead.
Speaking of clowns.
Can't hear you.
Nope, can't hear you.
Hey, so how does my camera look? I actually took the camera. I put an HD camera up. Do I look a lot better now?
You do look better, but you're super choppy. I don't know. Are we all choppy? Yeah.
Damn.
My speed is definitely up, but you are way choppy.
I wonder if it's because
you look like the real Ghostbusters cartoon, like 1 frame per minute.
Or it's like.
Yep. Can you hear me or not?
Now we can hear you, Chris.
There's ghosts here. Yeah. There's ghosts here. See, that's my ghost.
I wonder if it's because I got a bunch of things plugged into the same USB port. You know how Macs, they don't have enough USB ports.
Yep. That's why I bought one of those things, the extender.
I have that too, but I don't know.
Yeah. They need more. More ports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's like no information on here. It doesn't say about the Lemon Drop kit or anything.
So, Chris, what were you saying?
No, there was something going on in the basement of the Giggle Snort Hotel. Maybe that's where the Lemon Drop, whatever the
Lemon Drop kid,
whatever the kid that he would always be in there, and there would always be something. They said, I'm reading that he based it on Faulty Towers.
Did he really?
That's what he said. Wow. He goes, it ran for 3 seasons and said his influence for the show was Faulty Towers.
You know, it's funny because I would love to see what it's like now. Like to go back and see it. So I'm going to have to look it up. I loved this show when I was a kid. It might actually have been a big influence when you think about it.
Uh-huh.
But I wonder, like I went back and watched, Martha and I watched HR Puffin stuff. You ever gone back and watched that?
No.
Okay. You know what that is, right, Alil?
Yeah. I just
Sid Murray Croft.
Yeah.
No, good reason. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's the worst. I didn't love that one as much as I loved Sigmund the Sea Monster, which was also Sid and Marty Krofft. But really, they're both like unwatchable. They're terrible.
Oh, I bet.
But this one, I wonder if this one's any good. I used to really like it.
It was good. I mean, I watched it.
Wait.
I mean,
it said it aired on HBO in the early 80s for a short bit.
Get out of here.
That's what it says here. That can't be right. Do you think it is?
I'll look on the IMDb. Hang on a second.
Well, that's where I am, and it's just somebody writing that. It's just 75 to blank.
No, maybe.
Wow.
I guess that would make a little sense. No.
Now this says Giggle Snort Hotel at TV Party. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, I don't know about the on HBO either, but maybe it was. Were they that desperate for programming back in the 80s that they threw that on there?
Well, they did put. I just mentioned Rich Little and Gabe Kaplan, so I would say yes.
Back then, they were legitimately
they were totally
big stars.
Think about it. Rich Little was like a big star. If he showed up on like Tonight Show, like this is must see TV.
Hold on, it was Rich Little, Martin Mull, and who's the other guy? They were all big back then. Comedian.
I love Martin Mull. I think he's hilarious still. Pat Paulson. He was on a lot.
Pat Paulson.
Remember that guy?
Richard Brenner.
Oh, Richard Brenner.
Right? Richard Brenner back then.
Yes. Those comedians.
He's awful.
And Bob Hope. They would do those Bob Hope specials. And, I saw him live, actually. He was out of Poplar Creek. And it was like the jokes were the same old jokes. I love the Bob Hope movies, though. I'm a huge fan of his movies. But, yeah, that type of comedy got old real fast. Not as fast as Jerry Lewis's comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, if you watch the really old ones, they are funny. The stuff with Dean Martin is funny, but when it's him, there's a weird vibe to him.
Yeah, he needs a straight man. Totally needs a straight man. He can't do it himself.
Well, yeah, and it doesn't have like Pee-wee has a charm. He's kind of the Pee-wee character. He's like an infant man child thing.
Right.
But there's something like creepier about it. Maybe it's the slicked back hair.
Maybe it's because you saw him on the telethons being like, smoking and being being Gene Rayburn. Hey, what's up?
I want to get serious with you for a minute. These kids. I'm going to sing a song in a minute.
And they're great kids.
Yeah, they're great kids. I like those goofy bastards. Yeah, that was seriously, I don't know. Remember, that was the big thing, too, those telethons. Like, you waited all year, you watch it, like, oh, it's awesome. And then I always thought Jerry Lewis was going to be funny on it, and he never was.
And he would be on like an hour and a half of the show, and the rest of the time you knew he was just partying the whole time.
Yeah. And I felt so bad for those kids because, later on it came out that he was like kind of mean to them and stuff. Like, I mean, I guess you have to say that's, supposedly. But it sounds like from what came out, like that's one of the reasons they got rid of him is he was kind of a jerk. And it's like these poor kids. I mean,
yeah, no kidding.
This was to raise money for him. So I don't know. This took a really serious turn. Let's talk about the day the clown died or whatever that movie is that he did.
The day the clown died. We talked about Giggle Snort Hotel. That's a pretty, we should talk about Ray Rayner next.
Yeah. Now I wonder if people outside of Chicago know about that. Like people have heard of Bozo and they know about it. Mainly, a lot of people know it because he was on Letterman a lot. Joey DeOrio was on Letterman, so people know it from that. But I wonder, like, do people know who Ray Rayner was?
I don't know. I mean, you know what? WGN was the first superstation on cable, so they would be.
But was it at that time?
But I mean, in the late 70s, early 80s, when they didn't have much programming, WGN was. That's why the Cubs were so popular.
Yeah.
Because Channel 9, they literally just took their programming and threw it on cable before they became a superstation. Yeah. So if you saw Channel 9, that's what you would see throughout the country. And Ray Rayner was Channel 9 in the morning when I was a kid. So
did you watch Ray Rayner, Olil, or is that before your time?
That's before my time.
That was every day before school. You'd get up, turn on that TV while you're having your breakfast and getting ready. It was Ray Rayner. He was showing Bugs Bunny cartoons. He was showing Gulliver's Travel cartoons. He was doing his bits. He had the duck that was always trying to bite him.
Chauncey. No, Charleston.
Yeah, Charleston the duck. Yeah. I love that show. He was actually a neighbor of my brother-in-law's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like when you're from Chicago, you know everybody somehow,
Exactly. So he did this show.
That's why you were close friends with John Wayne Gacy.
He actually
shooting back.
I have two Gacy stories. First of all, he didn't live terribly far from where Martha grew up, so we did drive by the house a couple times. And like people put up like this weird house, like there are all these little salt box houses all around, and then this one like brick monstrosity, which is where after they tore down Gacy's house, they put this thing up. It's weird. But the other story, this is the best. I mean, this is really messed up. I worked with this guy, and his name was Dave. And we were talking about weird stuff one night, and I mentioned clowns. He's like, "Oh, I don't like clowns." I was like, "Oh, come on, man. Everybody's afraid of clowns or whatever." I said, "Clowns are all right." He goes, "No, man. One of my best friends was eaten by a clown."
What?
And he goes, I swear to God, that's how he put it. And I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Davey, he was one of Gacy's victims." I'm like, "He was eaten by a clown." He goes, "Might as well have been." It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That's very weird.
Eaten by a clown. I know other clown stories, but I don't want to spread rumors.
Crickets. Hey, that's all right. So yeah. So if you don't know this guy, he did this morning show. It was on the same set that Bozo Circus was done, and so like they would pan back every once in a while, and you'd see the set for Bozo Circus.
Yeah, you could see the things.
And he would do it, and he would make fun of it. But he did all this stuff. So he did like news, and he did like a little bit of sports, and then he would always have like if your team won the state basketball championship, he would have the team come down and watch the show because everybody would be into it. It was a great show for a kid because he would do all these things. Then he would show some cartoons, but then he would always do an art project. And the thing is he was the one who did it all, and he was like this really talented guy.
Yeah.
So he would make like this Christmas tree that was great looking, and then he would do it, and to make the kids feel better, he would make it like I would make it. So it was a complete train wreck. Like, things would be upside down and wrong, and there'd be glue everywhere, and it was good, and it just was
just a great show. Yeah, and he was like this really likable guy. He started out on Bozo. He was a clown on Bozo.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Cool. It was like him and Cookie were like the original like partners. And what's funny is in the later years of Bozo, when Cookie was like 100, he was Pepperidge Farm at that point because they remember. The guy who played kind of the role that Ray Rayner had played originally is a friend of mine. I know everybody. His name is Robin. Yeah, his name is Robin.
Brown was Cookie for a long time.
Right. And this guy that I knew wasn't Cookie. He was the guy. He was like
Wizzo,
Patches or something. No, but my neighbor growing up was friends with Wizzo. He knew Marshall Brodeen.
Yeah, Marshall Brodeen was Wizzo.
You were talking about old school Chicago names that I know nothing about.
Well, the original Bob Bell went to our church, and he was like
really?
He was the nicest guy. He really was. It was super nice. Like, he was a little bit older, and he just would come to church and sit there and not do anything. And people would be like, "Oh, you're Bozo." He's like, "No, that's a character I play." But he was a super nice guy. So
you can tell it was Chris that went up to him and said it, and he's like, "Get away from me, kid."
No, I didn't do that. So
you smell like ham, and then he'd run away.
Smell like bacon.
Yeah,
bacon. Remember Cuddly Dudley? You would go off to Cuddly Dudley's house.
Yes, you got to look up Cuddly Dudley because, Chris, have you looked at Cuddly Dudley since you've been an adult?
Oh, God.
It looks like one of those awful, like it's a stuffed animal that Ray Rayner would go and he'd talk to, but it looks like one of those cheap stuffed animals that you get at like a circus, like in the 70s.
Like at the fair, at the carnival.
Right. And this was like a main thing on the show.
So they described it as a 28.5-inch tall, shiny plush stuffed animal, nostalgic Cocker Spaniel doll.
Yeah. I describe it as crap.
So he was actually Cuddly Dudley was a gift if you got a subscription to the Chicago Trib in the mid 60s.
Is that where they got him from, or was it?
That's who it was. That's Cuddly Dudley. So that's why he gave the news and gave things that were going on. So
it was so bad.
Cuddly
you can look him up.
Dudley.
You got to look him up, man. Look up Cuddly Dudley, and you'll see it looks like a really lame circus, but it was hilarious because the person doing the voice sat there and gave Ray crap the whole time. So like you'd watch it, you're like, it was like they didn't do like the cutesy dog. He'd be like making jokes, but then he'd start giving Ray crap, and you could tell Ray was like giving it back to him, but you knew it was somebody off stage doing it. You know,
so weird.
It was probably like Roy Brown or somebody giving him.
So
crap.
glad I didn't grow up in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, there was a lot of radiation, man.
There was.
Look
and
what happened to Chris and I.
He would do like these.
Clearly.
He would do like these lip syncing sketches, and he did this Hello Mudda. Remember Hello Mudda? Hello
Yes.
Fada? Hello Mudda. Hello Fada.
Yep.
Oh, it was fantastic. And he did.
It was like a morning show for kids, but
Right.
it was really great. We need a morning show for kids. We would never be allowed within 100 yards of it, but I think that would be awesome.
Well, maybe
Yeah, it was
you.
good.
Please.
He was Oliver O'Oliver in Bozo Circus.
Yes. Now I got to try to look up my friend. I don't know who he played, but he looked a lot like Oliver O'Oliver.
Krusty.
Yeah, Krusty. What is his name? It's I already said his name and I can't remember it.
Do you have anybody watching this?
No, we're going to end in a minute. I think Danette's watching us. Let's see. Bozo later clowns.
Killer Clowns.
We're going to look it up and then I'm going to end it because I got to see who this is. He was with Joey DeOria, who was Bozo. He was at Second City when I was there. Let's see. 90s, 2000s. You know who was at the last show?
No.
Billy Corgan performed at the last show.
Really?
That's fantastic.
Huh.
How badly do you want to see that? Robin Urich. That's the guy. I know him.
Didn't he? Wasn't he in Vegas? Robin
Thicke?
Robin Urich. He played Rusty the Handyman. It's so weird too because I hadn't watched it in years, and I'd been in a commercial with this guy, and I knew he was a professional clown. He taught it. He was like kind of a big deal in that world. And it was much later. I turned on the TV. It was probably right when we moved back to Chicago because it was on until like 2001. And I think like we moved back in 2000. I probably saw, Bozo's on. I turned it on and saw Robin and was like, I know this guy. I actually knew two guys on there. I knew Bozo and I knew Rusty the Handyman. Pretty weird. And I knew I didn't know Marshall Modine. My neighbor did. You don't remember that either, Lil, huh?
Nope.
Want to do some magic tricks?
Yeah, he did. He had the Marshall Brodeen magic tricks, and he would sell them on TV. You know, there'd be commercials. Oh, the Marshall Brodeen magic tricks. Amaze your friends, and he'd do card tricks and that. And you were like, I have to have these. My friends will be amazed. Of course, you could never do the tricks, and your friends were not amazed. You were beat up and stuffed in a locker. I was anyway.
I didn't fit in a locker, so.
Alil has had a stroke. Is it? Alil, say something.
Jay Cutler just threw another interception.
That way everyone can see you. This is what he looked like when he met Stan Lee. Say hi.
That's exactly how I look.
That is awful.
I have the picture here somewhere. Hold on.
Please pull it up. It's the best thing ever. And then I think we're out. I'll do a little business while he pulls up the picture.
Oh, dude, that's.
Oh, wait,
There
you got it?
is.
We won't talk. Hold it up and talk.
All right, here's the picture of me and Stan. This is how awful it was.
I have so many things I want to say. There's so many things rolling in my head. I apologize. I'm asking for forgiveness now.
Well, as I hope you can tell that I do not have the same. That was me really trying hard to get something going on my face because it was pretty bad.
Were you slapping yourself like, come on, work?
Come on.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, that sucks. I have not had that, but I've seen people with it. I know it's rough to do.
It sucks, but when it happens to you, Alil, I have to laugh.
God. Just, you know what? Never get sick and never have anything happen to you because.
Oh, please. I cut my finger off.
No, especially Martha. That's what I feel worse for. Like if something happened to Martha, like Rob would just be picking on her.
No,
Molly would though.
Yeah, right. No,
You're
today
short already.
Big man,
please. Today, Today we were with some friends, and Molly was in her acting class, and she was one of her friends, and we found out it was me and then the other dad and then the two girls, and he said, when they imitate me, they make me sound like I've got brain damage. I'm like, me too. So they started imitating us, and do you know how I'm imitated here now, Chris? You know how I'm imitated at Blue Box.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
After you guys did that the one night, we get in the car, and the whole ride they imitated me. Do you know how they imitate me in my house?
You fart?
No. Well, yeah. Yes. No, they go. Dur, dur, dur. So and I'd say okay, guys, you're imitating me. They're like, I'm imitating you. Da, da, da. I'm like, what the heck? So this guy we're with today, he said, yeah, the way they imitate me. And it was the same thing. They go, his name is Dabu. And they're like,
what are you, 3 in that picture? Holy cow.
The way she imitates him is.
This was me this is 15 years ago.
Wow.
Me as Spider-Man, baby. Yeah.
Is that before Photoshop 1 came out? What?
No, I went to Universal Studios, and they have that thing where,
Yeah, I have a Shrek one. It's great.
You have a
Perfect
Shrek
for me.
one?
I
do.
also have...
I'm not showing it on ever anywhere.
Oh, come on, man.
No, it's
I also have me
the...
as Indiana Jones.
Dude, that's awesome.
Wait. Show it again.
That's really good, actually. That
This is
except for your neck doesn't match up.
Right, of course.
It's the same color, the facial and the chest.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
This is good.
I wish I could show some of the pictures I've made of a Lil here, because I've done some marvelous work.
Yeah, your pictures suck.
They're the worst. I mean, I'm not even using Photoshop. It's just pasted in.
Hey, Lil, that picture you showed in the beginning, how did Stan Lee and Rocky Dennison have a picture together?
You called me mean?
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. I apologize. That's been sitting here. I've been laughing for 5 minutes.
Was it cool meeting Cher?
Here it is again. Here it is.
No, dude,
there you go.
I truly feel bad. I know you I think that's when I first met you. That was around the time I first met you. I know you were bummed about it. So
no, I think we met the year after.
Oh, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, thanks. All right, let's end this because I'm going to bed.
If I want to take this abuse, I'll go to work. Thanks. Hey.
I don't want this abuse. I'm going to go talk to Martha. All right. Are we done?
Sure.
Hey, does she save money on yarn when she knits stuff for herself because she's so short?
Yes. No, she just keeps knitting and then tearing it apart and knitting again. That's all she's doing.
Yeah, she posted on Facebook that she was knitting in something and was really small. I'm like, oh, that's pretty extra large for her.
Right.
Oh,
all right. I'm going upstairs. I've had enough.
Pent up anger.
That's right. Poor Lil took a lot tonight. The League of Geeks guys are gonna be like, they're so mean to you.
Those guys rail on you, dude, all the time.
What
are you talking about?
Yeah, but I remember way back. They said, I remember right when you started on Enough Said, they're like, man, those guys are really rough on you. And I'm like, do these guys hear themselves?
It's different when you're in the conversation.
You don't know what a dick you are. Excuse me.
Right. One other thing. I can't remember. I told you, Jack is coming.
You did.
Yeah, he's going to be here. So we'll do Enough Said at the podcast marathon.
Awesome.
So that's going to be awesome. He's going to be here for 3 days. So
sweet.
Are the boys coming up from Indy or not?
No, Scott Troiano just wrote me and said that they can't make it. I know Matt and those guys can't make it. So that's all right. We're filling up real fast on shows. So, and there's still a few more that I haven't heard from that said they wanted spots that have not put spots down yet. So we should have a full lineup. And I think those boys and women from Elgin Fringe Fest are going to be on the Frosty Robert.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's going to be a good time.
There were some cool dudes. They were nice. So
yeah, they were. Unlike us. We should just call this This Week in Bastards because
inglorious bastards. But Nazis want to kill Nazis.
And all we do is either rip on each other or dig up pictures of ourselves that are embarrassing.
Well, that's every picture of me, so it doesn't matter. put
I've
it
got
I
in-
don't know,
some
man. Me as Indy I look good.
Oh,
You
do look
do.
good. Maybe next week I'll pull the Shrek off.
Oh, please do.
Dude, that does look good. That's pretty awesome.
Studly right there.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? What's the
I wonder-
hairline like under there?
Huh?
Was the hair full and luxurious back then or not?
Yeah. I had a lot of. My wife pulled out a picture of like our first vacation when we went to the Bahamas, and we did the dolphin thing, and I'm
Sure.
me and her, and the dolphins kissing her, and she's like, "Look how much hair you had," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Hey, look how tall you are too. Yeah.
yeah."
You're like, wait, no, that was our instructor. Why are you squeezing his butt? Could you hold that picture up again?
Which one?
Indy.
The Indy one.
Who wants to see that?
Just hold it up.
The fans
Why,
are
are
asking.
you taking a snippet of it or something?
No, hold it up.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can actually make out the tears from where Jenny cries when she looks at it.
Oh no.
Oh, you fell for that one.
I did get it as Indy for her because she loves Indy, and of course I'm as studly as Harrison Ford. So
You interview much better than him. I'll tell you that for sure.
Is that Rob's?
Hey!
We just got an interview with David Duchovny.
I can't believe it. You just whipped out your Harrison Ford. Very nice. That
That's
was
what she said.
Now, was that one, Chris? I want to know, was that better than mine, or was that equally bad?
It's hard to get the degree of badness, but I like the Lils. It was good.
And
All
of course,
right.
because I whipped out my Harrison Ford.
Because you whipped out your Harrison Ford, right?
That's quote of the night. Whipped out the Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but that's no Chewbacca with it. All right.
Maybe.
Looks more like an Ewok.
He's old school. He has the Chewbacca going. That's all.
Yeah, right.
It's an Ewok with a zipper. I don't know. Hey, hello.
Gross. All right. Before we get eaten by clowns, I'm done. I'm out. Let's just end it. Thanks for watching. Nobody. I think Danette might be there, though.
That was
Watching Danette. She's our fan. She even watched us on Disturbed. So thanks a lot, you guys. And we will be back next week, 9:00 Central on
YouTube will let us.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yes.
Before they kick us off. Thanks, guys.